How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm here with another video. This is going to be on a Husky mount. This is for a TV. I'm not sure how big a TV, but I do know up to 44 pounds. Now, this Husky mount was not very expensive, actually, compared to like Walmart and other stores. They were pretty high. This one was less than $20. Now, it doesn't come put together. We have to put it together. Let's see. Now, this one will extend out. It'll extend out 14 inches out. It'll swivel 180 degrees. It'll tilt 12 degrees. Let's see. This is 8x8. That must be the mount on the back of it. And it takes a max load of 44 pounds. So that's actually a pretty big TV. So I actually got a 24-inch Samsung smart TV I'm going to mount on this. But I got to get this mount up. I figured I'd do a video on the mount and one on the TV, the smart TV. But for the price of this mount, which was actually really cheap, I thought, for less than 20 bucks. Actually, my son bought this for me. So we're going to be putting it together and getting it put on the wall. We're going to see how this thing works out. Let's see what we got inside. Alright, let's check this out. Okay, so we got some instructions here. You know what? I'm going to get you guys the model number on this thing so you'll know. This must be it right here in the bottom. That's the model number. So make sure. Right there, model number. That's the back of it. Just so you guys can see it all. Okay. So we got our instructions. We got lots and lots of little parts. Now maybe it would be a little more expensive if it was already together. I'm not sure. But I don't know how they come. This plate must go on the back of the TV. Ooh, lots of parts. Lots of parts. Everything's marked out. This must be the big bracket that mounts on the wall. Should have everything here we need to work with. Let's get rid of this box. This is going to be our mounting bracket here. So it extends out pretty good. It's pretty far out. So we're going to get to putting this guy together. Alright, I think I understand why this thing is maybe didn't cost quite as much as the other ones. Because the instructions here are not very good. So, anyhow, mine's got the flat back TV. It's flat back on it. And I was looking at these screws. These screws actually fit in there. But they're just a tiny bit too short. So the only other ones that are the size that I need are these ones here. And they're too long. So they give you some spacers. And my TV is going to take all the spacers they give you. These are little spacers to put on there to make up the difference in these screws and those screws. And the reason why you got all of these screws are because they go to different TVs. See, there's 4 different size screws that go into 4 different size TVs, I guess. So we're going to be using these longer screws, and we're going to be putting some spacers in there. And hopefully we get this thing mounted up to the back of our TV. So let's see how this goes. Okay, now you can see how this plate's going to fit in the center of my TV here. And like I said, these screws actually fit, but they're way too long. So now if you have a bigger TV, this little thing will work on a bigger TV, because they give you these that you could mount on there and make it even bigger for a bigger TV. But my TV is so small that I'm only going to need this bracket right here to mount my TV with. So what I'm going to do here is they tell you to put these spacers underneath of this bracket. So they're basically going to go on like this. All these are going to have 3 spacers on there. And then you would take a screw with 1 washer, put it on there. Then you're going to slide it down through this, and then down through this hole into your TV. So that's how mine's going to go on. Let me see. Looks like I need to turn this thing. I have to turn it this way. So these screws are, those bolts are going up and down. So now that gives that bolt room to go in there without penetrating the back of my TV. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mount this up, and then we'll get you guys back. Okay, once you got all them on there, what we want to do is tighten this down, but we don't want to over tighten this. It doesn't have to be really tight. Just snug it up to hold it on there. This is a very light TV too. It's not a heavy made TV. And that's pretty good. I think that's fine. So now we'll get the bracket put up. Okay, so now those of you who have different TVs, this setup here will work on different TVs because all the screws are here. I literally thought these were all for this bracket, but they're not. They're just, each TV might have a different size screws. They give you spacers, washers, pretty much everything you need to put this thing together. And like I said, you can also use it on a bigger TV, but you would have to use these. Since my TV is so small, I don't need these. Now they actually give you bolts to bolt it to the wall. They give you everything you need to bolt it to the wall. Really, there's not too much to this for my process because I'm using such a small TV. So the next step is getting this guy mounted to the wall. And I notice right here they have an arrow that tells you the upward position of this bracket. So we're going to go ahead and get this put on the wall. Okay, now what I have here is the wall, which looks like a piece of Swiss cheese here, where the old wall mount used to be. We're going to have to do some patching there. But what we're going to do now is, being that these holes are all lined up on that stud, I'm just going to take this level, go right up through there. Hopefully, if I make this level, just get my level right on there. I'm going to move this stand up because I'm going to put it higher, because when I'm laying in the bed and it's down here, it's harder for me to see. So I'm going to mount it higher to the ceiling. My first screw I'm going to put it about 6 inches down from the top. So it's going to start right there. So we're going to get these guys drilled out. I think, I'll see what size drill bit that was. Okay, I think I did a little boo-boo here, because I actually drilled these and it didn't feel like it went into the stud, but I thought there was plywood behind this drywall. There must not be. So I drilled a hole here, and then I actually took a nail and drove a nail in here and it hit the stud. So we were close here. So I'm going to move these holes over a little bit. We'll patch this up a little bit. I think it'll be fine. It's only drywall, no big deal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line this up and get the level on here straight again. And we're going to re-drill these holes. I want to make sure I'm in that stud. Even if it's not in the center of the wall, I still want to make sure that it's in the stud. If it's not in that stud, it's a possibility that it could fall down. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to put this screw here in. We're just going to screw it in a little bit by fingers so we know it's lined up. Line that top one up in the center of that line up there. Get our pencil here and mark it out. Now, just because we poked a little hole in there, a couple holes, and May not look good. It'll be behind the TV, so we ain't gonna worry about that. We're gonna go ahead and drill new holes. I want to make sure that's in that stud. So now we know we're in that stud. You can hear how hard that was getting in there. One thing you guys got to watch is make sure there's no power lines. Of course, I built all this, so I know there's no power lines in here. You want to make sure there's no wiring behind there. You don't want to drill into anything like that. It could be a real mess. So we're into our studs now. Got a few little holes to clean up. We're not too much worried about them. It'll be behind the TV. So our little mess up is fixed now. So now all we got to do is we're going to have to get our bracket set up on here and get it screwed in here. Find the holes here. Get this guy all set up. All our screws lined up in here. We're just going to get these all snug down to the wall here. Alright, now that we got all of our screws in there, we're just going to snap this thing back on the wall. So now we got our bracket mounted up there. The only thing we got left to do now is to put our TV on there. Okay, they gave us some real nice little wing nuts to put on here. The only one we're going to put on right now is the top one. We're going to put just this top one on. Then we're going to hang that on our bracket, and then we'll slide this one on. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take our TV, stick it up on here, and slide the bottom one in, and then we're going to take our bottom wing nut and screw it on. Give it a little snug, and then go to your top one and snug it up. Then you want to make sure you got pretty tight. If we sure don't want our TV falling down. Now, we're going to be tilting this TV down a little bit. So they give you a couple screws right here, a couple bolts in the back. We can tilt it 20 degrees down. So that's what we're going to do. Alright everyone, this thing is up. It's done, and I think it's great. I think it's a very good little bracket for the cost of what this bracket costs compared to what they cost in town. I think that he might have bought this from Amazon or eBay. I'm not sure. It's a good heavy bracket. You know, you got to put everything together on it pretty much. I mean, there's not much to put on it. And it wasn't that hard. If I was to have it on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd say it was a 4. I think anybody could put this bracket up. Just got to make sure you find the studs. As you've seen in the video, I missed the studs, so I'm going to have some holes to patch, but that's okay. Got a bunch more holes here to patch anyhow, so that's not a problem for me. The nice thing about the video, or the TV, is I normally sit over there and I can watch the morning news from sitting at my desk over there. Or if I was sleeping in the bed or laying down wanting to watch TV, I could just tilt it over here and I can lay down in my bed and watch TV. Now this TV, or this bracket will tilt up. You can tilt it up, tilt it down, or even twist it as far as that goes. So you can pretty much do anything you want with this bracket. And like I said, it seems like it's a pretty good sturdy bracket. So I'd give it a thumbs up. It's a good bracket. I'd like to tell everybody thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up or thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.